In the stillness of winter, when the world grows silent and the wind cuts through like a blade, the soul of the warrior awakens. The ancients taught that steel is not born strong, it is forged, beaten, and purified by fire. So too is the human spirit. This is the essence of Hagane no Ishi, the will of steel. The unshakable resolve that transforms cold suffering into sacred strength. For 90 days we will step into the samurai winter arc, a crucible of discipline where comfort dies and mastery is reborn. Each sunrise will test your endurance. Each night will measure your devotion. The fire of habit will burn away weakness until only truth remains, your truest self. You are not here by accident. You are here because something within you refuses to settle. So, warrior, if your spirit stirs with purpose, comment, "I'm ready," subscribe, and stand with us. Together we are not just chasing goals, we are forging souls. Thank you for being part of this brotherhood, this circle of relentless minds. In the ancient heart of samurai philosophy, Fudoshin, the immovable mind, represents an inner fortress unshaken by chaos, temptation, or fear. It is not a state of emotionless coldness, but rather a calm flame that burns steadily amid storms. A warrior's mind must be still even when the battlefield roars, for power without control is destruction, and emotion without clarity is weakness. The unyielding mindset is born through countless battles within, against laziness, doubt, and the voice that whispers, "Give up." In the samurai winter arc, this is your first and most sacred forge. You must learn to confront the cold not as an enemy, but as a mirror reflecting your own resilience. The winds will howl, the path will freeze, but you will move forward. Deliberate, calm, unshaken. Fudoshin is the silence within action, the peace within effort, the knowing that no matter what comes, your mind remains anchored in purpose. To walk the path of Fudoshin is to see obstacles as trials, not threats. Every challenge is a hammer striking your will, shaping your mental blade sharper than before. Weakness cannot be destroyed, it must be understood, embraced, and refined into strength. The samurai did not seek comfort. They sought alignment between the mind and spirit. Modern warriors face a different kind of battlefield, distractions, failures, and doubts that corrode the edge of the spirit. But Fudoshin demands that you return to stillness in every storm, to find discipline even when the world tempts you to break. When others complain of the cold, you train within it. When others quit, you remain still. Not out of stubbornness, but out of silent conviction. The unyielding mind does not resist the world. It absorbs its blows, learns its rhythm, and answers with unbreakable calm. Within these 90 days, your mission is to cultivate this immovable core. Each morning routine, each repetition, each moment of resistance is an act of forging. You will face fatigue, self-doubt, and days where progress feels invisible. Yet that is precisely where Fudoshin is born. It is not built in the heat of motivation, but in the frost of discipline. The more you endure, the quieter your mind becomes. The more you struggle, the clearer your focus grows. When you stop seeking easy victories and start embracing the grind, your spirit becomes untouchable. You begin to act, not react, to command your emotions instead of being ruled by them. That is the samurai way. Unwavering, centered, and awake. In this winter arc, the true battle lies not in the world around you, but in mastering the stillness within you, the eternal fire that refuses to die, no matter how cold the season becomes. Discipline is not punishment, it is devotion. In the path of the samurai, every motion, every breath, every act was performed with sacred precision. The way they tied their armor, sharpened their blade, or bowed before battle was not routine, it was ritual. To live with discipline is to move through life as if every moment is a ceremony of purpose. In the samurai winter arc, the rhythm that aligns your body and mind. Each morning you rise before dawn, not because it is easy, but because it reminds you that mastery begins when comfort ends. Every small act, making your bed, meditating, training, journaling, becomes a strike upon the forge of your will. The world worships motivation, but the warrior worships routine, for it is the daily ritual that turns fleeting effort into enduring transformation. The ritual of discipline is where intention meets action. It demands consistency when excitement fades, and persistence when the results remain unseen. The samurai understood that the spirit must be anchored by habit, that excellence is not achieved by chance, but by repetition performed with heart. Every day you follow the ritual, you declare war on distraction and weakness. You no longer wait for the perfect moment. You create it through deliberate motion. The mundane becomes sacred because you treat it as such. Even simple actions, breathing, walking, writing, can become forms of meditation when done with focus. This discipline transforms your time into energy, your habits into identity. You cease to merely do disciplined acts, you become discipline itself. That is the spirit of ritual, devotion to the process that transcends mere willpower. In this 90-day winter arc, discipline is not a schedule, it is a way of life. You will rise, train and reflect with unwavering commitment, even when the mind resists. The ritual of discipline is your sword against the chaos of modern life, cutting through procrastination, fear and doubt. As repetition carves order into your days, your mind begins to follow. You start to crave the structure that once felt heavy. You begin to move with quiet strength, guided by routine and refined by patience. The samurai did not train for comfort. They trained to be prepared for every storm. So too must you. Every day becomes a kata, a dance of discipline, shaping your character through motion, precision and awareness. And when others falter, you will stand firm, not because it is easy, but because you have transformed duty into devotion, a sacred ritual that forges the warrior within. Time, the invisible battlefield where all warriors fight and fall. The samurai knew that every breath was borrowed from eternity, and thus each moment demanded reverence. To master time is not to control it, but to align yourself with its flow. To move with precision, not haste. In the samurai winter arc, the mastery of time means treating every hour as sacred, every minute as a step toward mastery. The undisciplined drift through their days like leaves caught in the wind, while the warrior charts his course with intention. He knows that time wasted is life surrendered. Each sunrise is a summons to action, and each sunset is a silent reminder of impermanence. Mujo, the truth that nothing lasts. When you understand this, procrastination becomes impossible, because you realize the cost of delay is not lost time, it is lost potential. You stop existing and start living deliberately, transforming every moment into movement. Mastery of time begins with awareness. The samurai did not rush, for haste clouds judgment. Nor did they linger, for hesitation weakens resolve. They acted with ma, the perfect balance between movement and stillness, the rhythm of purpose. In this challenge, you must carve your days like an artist shapes stone, removing what is unnecessary until only focus remains. Each hour has a role, training the body, sharpening the mind, nurturing the spirit. You learn to respect time by managing attention. For attention, not hours, is the true measure of life. The mind that drifts between tasks never forges depth, it only collects fragments. To master time is to live fully in the moment, doing one thing with total presence. When you eat, just eat. When you train, just train. When you rest, rest with intention. In simplicity, time expands. In distraction, it disappears. In these 90 days you will rise before the world wakes, confronting the silence of dawn with purpose and discipline. Every day will become a map of intention, planned, precise, sacred. You will replace idle scrolling with study, replace complaint with creation, and replace waste with worth. The true samurai measured wealth not in gold, but in how they spent their minutes. That is the essence of mastery of time, not speed but depth. You will begin to feel the shift. Less chaos, more clarity. Less regret, more control. The hours will no longer slip unnoticed. They will obey your purpose. In mastering your time, you master your life. The winter arc will test your focus, but if you endure, you will emerge with a sharpened sense of control. No longer a servant of time, but its commander. For the one who commands their time commands their destiny. The mark of a true warrior is not how they act when skies are clear, but how they stand when the storm rages. Endurance through adversity is the soul of the samurai winter arc, for winter itself is a teacher, cold, harsh, unrelenting. The samurai believed that suffering was not an enemy to flee, but a forge to enter willingly. Every challenge, every pain, every fall was a sacred invitation to grow stronger. Endurance is not the absence of struggle. It is the courage to continue walking when the path disappears beneath your feet, when your body trembles and your mind whispers surrender. That is the moment your spirit is tested. Gaman, the Japanese art of enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity, becomes your ally. You endure not out of stubbornness, but out of honor. For within the crucible of pain, you discover that weakness burns away, leaving only the essence of strength. Endurance is not just surviving difficulty, it is transforming through it. Every trial you face in this 90-day challenge is a mirror reflecting your true willpower. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it is purification. The samurai trained in the freezing rain, meditated under waterfalls, and faced each day as if it were their final battle. They understood that adversity is not meant to break you, but to polish the rough edges of your spirit. In the same way, when fatigue, doubt, or failure arise, you must not retreat. You must breathe, recenter, and continue. Slow if you must, but never stop. Endurance is built in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when progress seems invisible, and yet you persist. It is born from the warrior's promise to himself, "I will not yield." In enduring adversity, you learn to respect pain as a teacher. Every struggle becomes fuel, every setback a new layer of armor. As the days grow colder and the challenges harder, you will find that the body follows where the spirit leads. The mind will whisper excuses, but your resolve will speak louder. You will come to see that true endurance is not about resistance. It is about surrendering to the process, trusting that every ounce of effort is shaping something unbreakable within you. When the world tests your limits, respond not with complaint, but with calm defiance. Remember, diamonds are born from pressure, and warriors are forged in fire. The winter arc is not meant to be easy. It is meant to awaken your inner steel. Endure every trial with honor, and you will rise, not as the same person who began, but as one reborn in resilience, unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. In the way of the samurai, strength without harmony is chaos, and motion without meaning is emptiness. The warrior's true power lies in the balance of body and spirit, the perfect alignment between physical form and inner essence. The samurai did not train their bodies merely to fight. They trained to become one with their spirit. Their sword was not just a weapon, but an extension of their soul. In the samurai winter arc, this balance becomes your compass. You will learn that discipline is not just about pushing limits, but about listening deeply to your own rhythm, knowing when to strike, when to rest, when to endure, and when to breathe. The modern warrior often chases power at the cost of peace, speed at the cost of stillness, but true mastery requires both, the fire of effort and the water of reflection. When your body moves with purpose and your spirit moves with peace, every action becomes art, and every breath becomes strength. The samurai lived by Shingi Tai, the trinity of mind, technique, and body. believing that one could not be pure if the others were neglected. This principle reminds us that health, focus, and spirit are not separate pursuits, but reflections of the same truth. As you walk the winter arc, your physical training will sharpen your endurance, but it is your spirit that gives meaning to that pain. The sweat on your brow is not just effort, it is prayer. The silence after meditation is not just rest, it is awakening. Each moment of stillness balances the intensity of motion. Each mindful breath steadies the pulse of ambition. Balance is not achieved once. It is maintained daily through awareness, humility, and gratitude. When your body and spirit move in harmony, you become grounded like a mountain, unmoved, yet alive with quiet energy. In this 90-day journey, you will learn to see your training as more than physical conditioning. It is a dialogue between flesh and soul. As your body grows stronger, your thoughts will sharpen. As your spirit deepens, your movements will gain precision. You will realize that rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. That slowing down is not losing pace, it is gaining clarity. To master the balance of body and spirit is to live with total presence, where every act, from lifting a weight to taking a breath, becomes a ceremony of awareness. The samurai walk this path in silence and grace, finding peace even in the midst of chaos. You too must walk with that same awareness, grounded, poised, alive. For the warrior who balances strength with serenity does not fight the world, he flows with it. And in that flow he discovers the rarest form of power, harmony. In the vast silence of time, only those who live by a code are remembered. The samurai called this devotion to principle the way, a path carved not by chance, but by unwavering purpose. The Musashi Path, inspired by the legendary Miyamoto Musashi, is the embodiment of the code of honor and purpose. To live with integrity, to fight with clarity, and to die without regret. Musashi wrote, "The way is in training." Every moment, every action, every thought was a reflection of his code. He believed that victory was not over others, but over the self. To walk this path is to live as if every breath matters. To honor not only your word, but your effort, your time, and your journey. In the samurai winter arc, your purpose becomes your sword, and your honor its edge. Without purpose, effort fades. Without honor, strength corrodes. This path demands that you rise not for applause, but for principle. To stand upright in a world that bends easily. Musashi's life was a testament to self-mastery through simplicity and truth. He wandered as a ronin, a masterless samurai, yet his spirit served the highest master of all, purpose. He lived with shisei, a pure sincerity that turned his every motion into meditation. To follow the Musashi Path is to shed pretense and face yourself with brutal honesty. It means standing firm when your convictions are tested, and staying humble when victories arrive. You will encounter failure, loss, and moments of deep solitude, but each is part of the refining fire that tempers your honor. The code is not written in ink. It is written in how you live, how you endure, and how you treat others on the battlefield of life. Purpose gives direction to power, and honor gives it meaning. Together they form the moral armor of the warrior. Invisible, yet unbreakable. During these 90 days, you are not merely training your habits, you are writing your own code. Each choice becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your legacy. Every promise kept strengthens your resolve. Every temptation resisted sharpens your purpose. The Musashi Path asks you to act not for recognition, but for alignment. To let your thoughts, words, and deeds flow as one. When your purpose is clear, distractions lose their grip. When your honor is sacred, compromise becomes impossible. The samurai believed that to live without a code was to live without a soul. Thus, the winter arc calls you to rediscover yours. Live each day with respect, courage, and authenticity. Let your actions speak louder than your ambitions. In the end, honor is not about perfection, but persistence. Purpose is not found, it is forged. And when you walk the Musashi Path, you do not follow footsteps, you create them. Winter does not ask, it tests. And through these 90 days as you walk the samurai winter arc, you will discover that greatness is not something granted, but something forged in silence, discipline, and fire. The path will be cold, the nights long, and the battles within fierce. But each moment you endure brings you closer to the warrior you are meant to become. Remember the 6 pillars: an unyielding mindset, the ritual of discipline, mastery of time, endurance through adversity, balance of body and spirit, and the code of honor and purpose. Together, they form the armor of the modern samurai, not of steel, but of spirit. When the world retreats into comfort, you will rise in the storm. When doubt whispers, your resolve will answer louder. This is your crucible, your rebirth, your test of will. You are not here to survive the winter. You are here to conquer it. So stand tall, warrior. The fire within you is stronger than the frost around you. The time to begin is now. For those who walk the winter arc emerge not just disciplined, but transformed. Now, take your first step and let the forging begin.